Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, Chapter 12, Number 2. If you cannot ignore the response, delay it. In the process of extinguishing a conditioning, a person may find it difficult, especially at first, to totally ignore the bell, especially if it is rung unexpectedly. In such instances, you can accomplish the same final result, extraction of the conditioning, by delaying your response. A woman who we will call Mary S. became anxious and ill at ease in the presence of crowds. She was able, by practicing the foregoing technique, to immunize or tranquilize herself against the disturbing stimuli on most occasions. Most occasionally, the desire to run away, to flee, became almost overpowering. Remember Scarlett O'Hara? In Gone with the Wind, I asked her. Her philosophy was, I won't worry about that now, I'll worry about it tomorrow. She was able to maintain her inner equilibrium and effectively cope with her environment, in spite of war, fire, pestilence, and unrequited love, by delaying the response. Delaying the response breaks up and interferes with the automatic workings of the conditioning. Counting to 10 when you are tempted to become very angry is based on the same principle and is very good advice if you count slowly, and in fact actually delay the response, rather than merely holding in your angry shouting or desk pounding. The response in anger consists of more than shouting or desk beating. The tension in your muscles is a response. You cannot feel the emotion of anger or fear if your muscles remain perfectly relaxed. Therefore, if you can delay feeling angry for 10 seconds, delay responding at all, you can extinguish the automatic reflex. Mary S. did extinguish her conditioned fear of crowds by delaying her response. When she felt that she simply had to run, she would say to herself, very well, but not this very minute. I will delay leaving the room for 2 minutes. I can refuse to obey for only 2 minutes. Relaxation erects a psychic screen or tranquilizer. It is well to get clearly in your mind the fact that our disturbed feelings, our anger, hostility, fear, anxiety, insecurity, are caused by our own responses, not by externals. Response means tension. Lack of response means relaxation. It has been proved in scientific laboratory experiments that you absolutely cannot feel angry, fearful, anxious, insecure, unsafe as long as your muscles remain perfectly relaxed. All these things are in essence our own feelings. Tension in muscles is a preparation for action or getting ready to respond. Relaxation of muscles brings about mental relaxation or a peaceful, relaxed attitude. Thus, relaxation is nature's own tranquilizer, which erects a psychic screen or umbrella between you and the disturbing stimulus. Physical relaxation is a powerful disinhibitor for the same reason. In the last chapter, we learned that inhibition results from excessive negative feedback, or rather, our over-response to negative feedback. Relaxation means no response. Therefore, in your daily practice of relaxation, you are learning disinhibition as well as providing yourself with nature's own do-it-yourself tranquilizer, which you can take with you into your daily activities. Protect yourself from disturbing stimuli by maintaining the relaxed attitude. Build yourself a quiet room in your mind. Men seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, seashores, and mountains, and thou too art wont to desire such things very much, said Marcus Aurelius. But this is altogether a mark of the most common sort of men, for it is in thy power, whenever thou shalt choose, to retire into thyself. For nowhere, either with more quiet or more freedom from trouble, does a man retire than into his own soul, particularly when he has within him such thoughts that by looking into them he is immediately in perfect tranquillity. And I affirm that tranquillity is nothing else than the good ordering of the mind. Constantly then give to thyself this retreat, and renew thyself. Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, translated by George Long, Mount Vernon, New York, Peter Popper Press. During the last days of World War II, someone commented to President Harry Truman that he appeared to bear up under the stress and strain of the presidency better than any previous president, that the job did not appear to have aged him or sapped his vitality, and this was rather remarkable, especially in view of the many troubles which confronted him as a wartime president? His answer was, I have a foxhole in my mind. He went on to say that as a soldier retreated into his foxhole for protection, rest, and recuperation, he periodically retired into his own mental foxhole, where he allowed nothing to bother him. Your own decompression chamber. Each of us needs a quiet room inside his own mind, a quiet center within him, like the deep of the ocean that is never disturbed, no matter how rough the waves may become upon the surface. This quiet room within, which is built in imagination, works as a mental and emotional decompression chamber. It depressurizes you from tensions, worry, pressures, stresses, and strains, refreshes you and enables you to return to your workaday world better prepared to cope with it. It is my belief that each personality does already have a quiet center within, which is never disturbed, and which is unmoved like the mathematical point in the very center of a wheel or axle, which remains stationary. What we need to do is find this quiet center within us and retreat into it periodically for rest, recuperation, and renewed vigor. One of the most beneficial prescriptions that I have ever given patients is the advice to learn to return into this quiet, tranquil center. And one of the best ways that I found for entering this quiet center is to build for yourself, in imagination, a little mental room. Furnish this room with whatever is most restful and refreshing to you. Perhaps beautiful landscapes if you like paintings, a volume of your favorite verse if you like poetry. The colors of the wall should be are your own favorite pleasant colors, but should be chosen from the restful hues of blue, light, green, yellow, gold. The room is plainly and simply furnished. There are no distracting elements. It is very neat and everything is in order. Simplicity, quietness, beauty are the keynotes. It contains your favorite easy chair. One small window can look out and see a beautiful beach. The waves roll in upon the beach and retreat, but you cannot hear them, for your room is very, very quiet. Take as much in care take as much care in building this room in your imagination as you would in building an actual room. Be thoroughly familiar with every detail. A little vacation every day. Whenever you have a few spare moments during the day between appointments, riding the bus, retire into your quiet room. Whenever you begin to feel tension mounting, or to feel hurried or harried, retire into your quiet room for a few moments. Just a very few moments taken from a very busy day in this manner will more than pay for themselves. It is not time wasted, but time invested. Say to yourself, I'm going to rest a bit in my quiet room. Then, in imagination, see yourself climbing the stairs to your room. Say to yourself, I am climbing the stairs. Now I am opening the door. Now I am inside. In imagination, notice all the quiet, restful details. See yourself sitting down in your favorite chair, utterly relaxed and at peace with the world. Your room is secure. Nothing can touch you here. There is nothing to worry about. You left your worries at the foot of the stairs. There are no decisions to be made here. No hurry, no bother. You need a certain amount of escapism. Yes, this is escapism. So is sleep escapism. Carry an umbrella in the rain is escapism. Building yourself an actual house where you can retreat from the weather and the elements is escapism. And taking a vacation is escapism. Our nervous system needs a certain amount of escapism. It needs some freedom and protection from the continual bombardment of external stimuli. We need yearly vacations when we physically vacate the old scenes, the old duties, the old responsibilities. Get away from it all. Your soul and your nervous system need a room for rest, recuperation, and protection every bit as much as your physical body needs a physical house. And for the same reasons, your mental quiet room gives your nervous system a little vacation every day. The moment you mentally vacate your workaday world of duties, responsibilities, decisions, pressures, and get away from it all by mentally retiring into your no-pressure chamber. Pictures are more impressive to your automatic mechanism than words, particularly so if the picture happens to have a strong symbolic meaning. One mental picture that I found very effective is the following. On a visit to Yellowstone National Park, I was waiting patiently for the geyser Old Faithful, which goes off approximately every hour. Suddenly the geyser erupted in a great mass of hissing steam. like a giant boiler whose safety plug had been blown out. A small boy standing near me asked his father, "What makes it do that?" "Well," said the father, "I guess old Mother Earth is just like the rest of us. She builds up a certain amount of pressure, and every once in a while she just has to blow off steam to stay healthy." Wouldn't it be wonderful, I thought to myself, if humans could blow off steam harmlessly like that when emotional pressures build up inside us? I didn't have a geyser nor a steam valve in the top of my head, but I did have an imagination. So I began to use this mental picture when I would retire into my mental quiet room. I would remember Old Faithful and form a mental picture of emotional steam and pressure coming out of the top of my head and evaporating harmlessly. Try this mental picture on yourself when you're wrought up or tense. The idea of blowing off steam and blowing your top have powerful associations built into your mental machinery. Clear your mechanism before undertaking a new problem. If you're using an adding machine or an electronic computer, you must clear the machine of previous problems before undertaking a new one. Otherwise, parts of the old problem or the old situation carry over into the new situation and give you a wrong answer. This exercise of retiring for a few moments into your quiet room in your room can accomplish the same sort of clearance of your success mechanism, and for that reason it is very helpful to practice it in between tasks, situations, environments which require different moods, mental adjustments, or mental sets. Common examples of carryover or failure to clear your mental machinery are the following. A business executive carries his workaday worries and his workaday mood home with him. All day he has been hurried, aggressive, and set to go. Perhaps he has a bit of frustration, which tends to make him irritable, but he stops working physically when he goes home. But he carries with him a residue of his aggressiveness, frustration, hurry, and worry. He is still set to go and cannot relax. He is irritable with his wife and family. He keeps thinking about problems at the office, although there is nothing he can do about them. Insomnia, rudeness are often emotional carryovers. Many people carry their troubles to bed with them when they should be resting. Mentally and emotionally, they are still trying to do something about a situation at a time when doing is not in order. All during the day, we have need of many different types of emotional and mental organization. You need a different mood and mental organization for talking with your boss and talking with the customer. And you have just talked with an irate irritable customer, you need change in the set before talking with the second customer. Otherwise, emotional carryover from the one situation will be inappropriate in dealing with the other. One large company found that one of their executives unknowingly answered the telephone in a harsh, angry, hostile tone. The phone rings in the midst of a knockdown, drag-out conference, or while the executive is enmeshed in frustration and hostility for one reason or another, and his angry, hostile tone of voice surprises and offends the innocent caller. This company directed all executives to pause 5 seconds and smile before picking up the phone.